So let's begin with what is mindfulness. What anyone would like to say what they think mindfulness is really about?
The general thing is being in here and now, present moment.
Present moment, right? Anybody else?
Being
Awareness,
aware
I
of
think. Awareness.
Awareness, right?
being aware of yourself, being aware of your surroundings, basically
Absolutely.
here and now.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. So mindfulness is living in the here and now. So it's about being aware in the present moment. So I would like you all to just now take your eyes off the screen and just concentrate on what I am saying. Okay. So this is a small awareness exercise. So become aware of how you are sitting. The chair, how you are resting your feet on the floor, or are you wearing shoes or slippers? Where are you experiencing the pressure in your feet? Notice the part of your body that comes into contact with the seat, the chair that you are sitting. Is there warmth? Is there pressure? Notice where your hands are. Are they on the counter? Are they on your lap? Now take your focus to your breathing. You may close your eyes. Of your in breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Just put your attention on your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Don't need to change the pace of your breathing. You're doing just fine. Breathe in and breathe out. Any thoughts that come to your mind, just move them aside. Again, just focus on your breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So actually, there are many definitions of mindfulness which we will go into, but the crux of it is being aware in the present moment. So you see, when you pay attention to the present moment, pay attention to what is there in your mind and body, your thoughts, your feelings, your body sensations, that you are aware of that, then you are being mindful. It's not a rocket science, but mindfulness takes practice. So even when I was very interested in the subject and I would read a lot, but I would never really get down to practicing. And so therefore, when the opportunity came up for a workshop, I did the workshop about 1 year back, and I really don't have regrets. I have no regrets because it has helped me so much. And by and by, I will also share with you my very recent example of an accident in my life and how mindfulness helped me to cope with it. So let's move on. And the next I have on the screen is a quiz. Okay. So I hope you all have your notebooks ready. Quickly just put down the answers to this question. And quickly, you don't have to think too much. Okay. If you have to think too much, then, you are not really being mindful. So, and it's okay. Even if you don't know the answer, just keep a dash there. But whatever, we just take 2 minutes, 2 to 3, maximum 3 minutes for this quiz. The first is, when you are walking, which foot do you put forward first? Put down the answer in your notebook. When you are standing, which foot do you put your weight on? Which side of your body do you prefer to sleep on? When you wear your footwear, which foot do you wear it first? When you are dancing, which side of your body sways first? When you clap your hands, which hand is the receiver? When you bend down to pick up something, which hand do you use? And the last is, are your teeth visible when you smile?
Done, ma'am.
Done? Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if you could get all or most of them, just raise your hand. So I'll see how many people could do it.
Yeah, I have done.
Yeah, I could get all.
I've done.
Great, great, wonderful, wonderful. So we have, okay, great, lovely. So you know what? Otherwise, many a times we don't. All this is done on automatic pilot, and we are not aware of these things. Aware meaning, what I mean is, the conscious mind is not aware. Okay, the subconscious is running our whole lives. It's running our parasympathetic nervous system, our sympathetic nervous system, and everything, happens as it is meant to be. But we are not aware. We are not aware of how my heart is, functioning, how the blood is coursing through my veins, which is happening. But things which we can observe, which we can see, if we can be aware more and more, that is something called mindfulness. Okay. So we'll go down to some of the definitions. Let us have a look at some of the definitions. So mindfulness is paying attention in a particular way, on purpose and without judgment. So John Kabat is one of the persons who is very active in this area of mindfulness, and I will be sharing some of his videos with you all for practice. And there is a lot of material available by him on the net also, if at all, you will want to know more and more once the sessions are over. Then there's another definition which I love very much. Mindfulness is simply being aware of what is happening right now without wishing it to be different, enjoying the pleasant without holding on when it changes, which it will, and being with the unpleasant without fearing it will always be there, which it won't. So this definition is by James Barras. Being with the unpleasant without fearing it will always be this way, which it won't. And when you look at this statement, understand this statement, accept this statement, you will find that a lot of your anxiety will dissipate. So let's go to the next. So there are many definitions about mindfulness, and there are some more there in your notes, which I'm not speaking about right now. But every definition talks about meeting each moment with clarity, curiosity, and openness. Okay. So what is this clarity? Okay. So clarity is, when you have a glass of water and there is something in it, or like, there is some mud in water, and then you keep it and let it settle down. So you will get a clear water on the top. So similarly, when, you still your mind, when you actually let things be as they are, and when things become more clearer for you, then you will have, when the water, as the water becomes clearer, you see things more clearly. Similarly, you're saying stillness brings clarity, and clarity is seeing what is right here, right now, the way it is, rather than what we expect it to be. See, because one of the reasons why we cannot stay in the present moment is because we are always reliving our past, or we are looking at the future. So even in the morning when we get up, instead of being aware of, the beautiful colors in the sky as the sun is rising or has risen, we are only more concerned about, getting things done quickly. I have to rush to the office. What am I going to do today? Which meeting do I have? At what time do I have to contact this person? I must not forget to, keep this appointment. So I'm not living in the present moment. So even if I'm eating a breakfast, I'm not present to what I'm eating. So there are activities of daily living in the morning which I just rush through on automatic pilot, just because I have to go through the day. And for that, I want to be prepared. Good enough. We need to be prepared. But first, start learning to appreciate and be in the present moment. I'm not saying that we should not plan for the future. We should do that. That also has its own beauty. But let not the present moment go by because we are only worried about what we need to do, what we need to accomplish, those kinds of things. Yeah. So clarity, again, I want to repeat, clarity is seeing what is right now, right here, right now, the way it is, rather than what we expect it to be. Now, curiosity. Now, if you see children, all of you know how children, they can be playing in the garden and suddenly they see some ants. So they'll start following the ants because they want to see where these ants are going, what are they doing, or some children, sometimes they may catch a wasp. I remember my nephew one day, he caught a wasp because he was so curious and he got bitten. And so, but children, it's a childlike curiosity that we need to retain, and we tend to lose as we grow as adults, So retaining that childlike curiosity is very important for mindfulness. So curiosity is about approaching life with with an attitude of childlike wonder. So sometimes when something happens, instead of cursing what is happening if we don't like it, if we can be more curious as to why this happened, how it happened, that can help us to tide over the circumstance, the situation, help us to find solutions rather than, be concerned with the why, of what happened. So curiosity about, looking at things with, different perspectives. Curiosity about knowing another's perspective. Okay? And curiosity about also, things that I may not know about myself as yet. So as you go through some of the exercises, you will also learn things about yourself. In fact, even while I was, trying to motivate people to join this workshop, there's a lot I learned about myself. And that is what is important, because if you keep yourself open, openness is about meeting our experience. So this is my experience. I may not like the experience, but if I can be open without judgment, without blaming myself or the other person, then, I will get answers. I will get answers about myself, about who I am, how am I dealing with it, you know. If I want to make a choice, what are my choices, right? So these are the three important elements that you need to remember about in being in the mindful state. So as I was just saying here, there are some mindfulness teachers who talk, they talk about mindfulness as, paddling versus floating. So when you're floating, you just are. So you just be, you're not doing anything. So you're just floating on the water. But when you're paddling, you're doing something. So it's be versus do. Okay. So, but yes, even to be, sometimes you have to be paddling a bit and then just be. So again, here, don't judge. The judgment part we should avoid. In the mindfulness, when we are trying to do any kind of meditation also, now we have started with body scan, but there will be other ways, other methods which will come up. And then even in that, they are saying just be, like thoughts will come. And then you begin to think, oh, I can never do meditation because I'll always be distracted. So again, that's a judgment. So just be okay. It's come. I had the distraction, but okay, I can come back to my body. I can come back to my breathing, whatever I am focusing on. So it's be versus do. I'm not saying that we have to only be and never do. Okay. But when we can make out this difference, when we know where we are, whether I am in a be state or when I am in a do state, that is mindfulness. So there are three essential elements in the practice of mindfulness which we must be aware of. Okay. So the first is intention. So why we practice it? So what is my intention? So have I come to this mindfulness because okay, there is something like some of us said anxiety. So I want to calm myself. So or there may be some physical thing which I want to kind of work on, or it could be just for the joy and equanimity it brings. Okay, so why am I practicing it? Now, yes, I may be aware of my intention, but according to John Kabat, it's also important to, have a personal vision that okay, now I am on this mindfulness journey. What is my vision for myself? What do I really want from this? And some of us as counselors, as Netra was saying, that I began to think about how this is going to help my clients. So yes, it can definitely, we can definitely, but first we have to help ourselves. So it has to become part of my practice first before I can, impart it to others. So a vision that can be useful. So the next one is the attention. So it's about how we practice it. So as I just said, there'll be 100 distractions, but then I have to come back. So if I'm trying to just focus on my breathing, so I may start focusing, but after a while, thoughts will go somewhere else. It's okay. I have to come back. I have to come back to my breathing. But this might happen within a span of say 10 minutes. Even you may come back to your breathing 100 times, and that's also okay. But the more we practice, they say, the more attention you give something, the more it grows in your life. So the more we practice, the better we get at it. And it's mindfulness. Again, I want to tell all of you, it's not just about meditation. It's about being mindful in everything that I do, being mindful in what I observe, being mindful in what I speak, being mindful in how I listen to people, being mindful in how I appreciate people, or being mindful when I dance, or when I sing, or when I just jog, or I just walk. So mindfulness can be part of our life. And it's not as if we have to be mindful 24 hours a day. That's not possible. But the more mindful we are in our lives, I feel that people say that when we are more mindful, they experience a lot of joy in the moment. So it also it also helps you to stop visiting the past, which might be painful, you know, or again keep dwelling in the future. So staying in the present moment and enjoying, and whatever joy you experience in that present moment becomes part of your life, and it brings a lot of light in your life, and that has been my experience. And the last element is attitude. So what we practice now, intrinsic to the practice of mindfulness are some attitudes like, you know kindness. We're talking about be kind to yourself. I already spoke about non-judgment. Then I have mentioned curiosity, openness. Okay, so these are the attitudes which we need to bring. And one very important thing to remember is all these things, when we practice non-judgment, when we practice kindness, all these bring into our bodies a dopamine release. Okay? And it is also said that when we practice kindness, more and more acts of kindness, there is a oxytocin release. And all of you will know that oxytocin is a very important hormone for the body, and that is a feel good hormone. Not only feel good, it's a healing hormone, right? So these are the attitudes which we practice. Then later on we will talk about other things like gratitude and all that, but in some of the later sessions. But right now, whenever you are doing your scan, just be with everything with an attitude of kindness, non-judgment, openness, curiosity. Yeah. So we'll continue. So learning to be mindful. So we're looking at mindful breathing, which we did a little bit, but you will be doing more of it again in the homework also. Then mindful meditation and body scan. Okay. Then you will also learn that mindful movements can be mindful dance, walking. No, I also mentioned that earlier. And then the activities of daily living. Yeah. So we also have practices. So which are these practices? Again, they're the meditation. And it's important to remember that the mind is like a muscle. You know, the more you exercise it, the stronger it gets and the more it expands. So though I've put a picture of a brain over here, it's not that the mind is in the brain. Okay, mind is there in us. When you take a picture, you will never get a picture of the mind. So we cannot put a picture of the mind over here. And so we tend to kind of relate it, mind, to being in the brain. Now, let me go a little ahead and talk about the myths. There are many myths to mindfulness, and there are many which have been given in your notes, which will come to you, say, latest by 3 o'clock today. But there are just 3, 4 which I'd like to talk about now. So, you can only practice mindfulness in a quiet place. So, it's not like that. Yeah, when you're meditating, it's good to have quiet place and uh, nobody to disturb you. But otherwise, in any other activities, it's okay to have a lot of noise around also. You can still be mindful. You can learn to practice it by reading a book. It's like swimming, no? You can keep reading about swimming, but unless you get into the water, you will never learn to swim. So mindfulness is like that. Unless you practice it, it will not be there in your life. So many people think of mindfulness as being boring, but actually it's not boring. When you practice it, you see the benefits, you see, what you are gaining from it. And we will be talking about benefits in the next session. So you're supposed to be mindful throughout the day. There's nothing like that. You cannot be mindful 24 hours a day. You will be on automatic pilot at many times in the day, and that's also fine. Just have to accept that that's the way it is, and that I can be mindful by practicing more and more, and that's it. So these are the main things that I wanted to talk about today. It's 1 minute after 1 o'clock. If any of you have any queries, I'll take that up quickly and I will tell you all about the homework.
Can I, Leonie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I
Yeah.
got from today's session is mindfulness is to be in that right moment. Yes. Not to be judgmental. There should not be a blame game, sort of. And more we have to concentrate when our thoughts take us away from that present moment. We have to get into that just be, and we have to focus. If we just can't be in that zone, we have to be we have to just look into our breathing, and then we have to be present in that moment. That is all about, right?
Yeah, it's the breathing that can bring us to the present moment.
Present
And you
moment.
need to remember that your breath is something which you're born with and it stays with you throughout your life.
Okay.
So that's a very important anchor. It's like an anchor. We'll talk about anchors in the next session, but
Okay.
breath can be our important anchor. So
Okay.
bringing yourself back to your breath can, bring you back to your focus and the here and now. That's what we are main thing in today's session.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
So now I will just quickly tell you all the homework will be coming to you in the email. One is you will have to do this body scan every day from tomorrow. You don't have to do it today, you've already done it. Then there is other things like mindfulness in any activity. You take up any one activity during the day and be mindful, and then you record it, log it in your book. Yeah, what was your experience? I will not ask you to bring it or send it to me, but whatever you want to share, we will share in the next session. Then you will have to also do at least one meal, eat your one meal mindfully and log it, write about it. When I say log, I mean write, record it. Okay. Then there is one more thing about informal practice. So that also you can look at. It's there in your homework. And if any of you have any queries, you can put it up on the chat, on the WhatsApp chat, or you can call me individually and I can clarify it for you. So it's 1:04 now, and I'm so happy that we can close almost on time. And it's been a great pleasure to do this session for y'all. I'm so thankful to all of you for being there throughout. I think one or two have dropped out. I do not know why right now in this session, but I am grateful for all of you that you all were there, you all participated. I also am very grateful. My husband is hosting this because I could not host and conduct the session together. So what you're looking at as host on the screen, that is my husband hosting it and recording it for us. So I'm also grateful for that. And also that he gave me another screen so I can see you all. Otherwise, if I share a screen on my laptop, then I cannot see you all. But he gave me an additional screen so I'm able to look at you all. Yes, Swati, you have a question?
Yeah, ma'am, I have a question. One
Yeah.
activity every day means what?
See, everything will
Which
be
type
there
of?
in the notes. No, it will be there in
Okay,
your notes. And if you
okay.
have a query, please call me or you can message
Yeah,
me.
okay. Thank you, madam.
And I will
Thank
clarify.
you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I also have one query.
Yeah. Who's
I
that?
just lost in between of last 2 minutes. So I did
Who's
not
this?
understood what Swati Mishra, ma'am. Another Swati.
Yeah, Swati. Yeah.
Hello?
Which Swati is talking now?
Ma'am,
Huh.
Swati Mishra, ma'am.
Okay, Swati, got you. Tell me.
Actually, ma'am, in between I lost connection, so I don't know whether you explained
Dale.
something about homework that
No,
I
when
could
did
not.
you lose? I mean, did you do the resin meditation and share? You shared, right?
Yes. Just now,
Yeah, yeah.
hardly
So
2 minutes.
nothing. The homework is coming to you in the email. If you have any queries, so that will be clarified. You can just get in touch with me. Ratandeep, are you there? I think she's not there. Anyway, so I think we can now close. Thank you all. And the WhatsApp group is there.
Yes,
Please
Leonie, I'm there.
stick. Yeah. No, we wanted your experience about the raisin meditation, but you can share it later on.
Yes.
Or you can share it with me because when you are sharing and I think so. Okay, so
Thank you,
yeah,
Leonie.
thank you.
It was a lovely experience, and I will give my best for your homework.
Yeah,
Thank you,
please,
madam.
it will the mail will come to you all in an hour or so, or maybe 2 hours. Just give me some time because I have to put in all your email IDs and then I will send the mail to you all. So you all will get it. There's no homework for today, but the homework means you have to start doing the homework from tomorrow. 6 days a week you have to do the homework and log your experience so that you have a record of your experience. And not necessary that you have to share it here in the group, but yes, we will share some of that in the next session. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.